Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel Eddu Hub. I am Bhaswata, your tutor, and today we will be discussing a very important topic. First, we will know about the properties. Then we will know about the use of each and every tools you can see. And then a few more too. So let's start. Now let me clear you something, that properties are of four types. Okay, the first one is stage properties, which we have seen, and you are also now getting to see these are stage properties. Okay, after that we have these object properties, that if I draw something or if I draw an object like this one, then these are the object properties you can see. Then it comes to symbol properties and then image properties. Okay, now in the properties panel we have discussed the stage property. Now let's talk about the object properties. Now if I have taken some objects like a circle, a rectangle, a line, and also some hand-drawn things, and say a polygon. Okay, see, when I select something, and to double click it because it's in a break apart mode. Okay, so I need to convert it to an object like this. Create an object. See, this is create an object. You can also make something as an object, like before making you can just click it here, object drawing tool. Okay, just see the things. Now you can change size of something, like I have selected that cube. I can change the size, I can change the height and width, and if I click the lock button, then it will be scaled proportionally. Then I can move its position from x-axis, y-axis, okay, from this properties panel. And I can just clear its transparency, that this transparency is, I can define it. I've set it at 100. I can change the color of fill from here. The stroke, I can change the stroke color. Now what is a stroke? Stroke is the outline of this object. Okay, you can just make it bigger. The strokes can be sized like this. It's not that the triangle is getting smaller, actually the stroke is so thick that it looks like that the triangle is getting smaller. In the break apart part you can differentiate between the strokes and the object very clearly. You can even detach them. Okay, now the styles, you can select a style of the stroke. You can see here. Let's zoom in. Well, you can see that. Then after selecting, you also have that width tool, that if you select a line, like this, with the width you can do anything. Like if I make the stroke bigger, you will see that we can define its shape or its width, what you want to do. Now this is in break apart mode, we can just change with clicking this. Now these are expand to fill, that this will this option will convert this object to a fill. so that when we resize this whole stage, or if we just resize something using that this tool is used for resizing something, right? Sorry. We can resize it from here, then it will not get distorted. Then there are more options like butt cap, round cap. Now what is a butt cap and a round cap? Let's see. First let's select the pointer tool. Okay, I'm just expanding its size. No, not this one. This one will be a better one. Just increase it a bit. Okay, now if I change it to this, and actually these are for the caps, that how the end of a line should be looking like. This is meta joint, that joint should be oval or something. Okay, let's explain you in a good manner. This is a simple line, right? Now if I select this one, then see its corners are getting bulged. This one is round cap, this is butt cap, and this one is projecting cap. Now the difference between these two is butt cap has the line at the tip of the whole color, see, but for this the color will be more, as in the picture. It's longer in length. I love this because this one always helps. Okay, now there's hinting, which we'll discuss later. There are reset profiles, and you can even add more. Okay, now let's talk about the properties we have completed. It's the normal properties panel. Now let's start with the tools. So first let's select everything and just delete these things. Now what we have in the tool section is selection tool. The shortcut is V. You can just, now I need a shape to explain it to you. Well, this is something of alien texture. Okay, now this selection tools actually help to select something in a single click, or if you have a break apart object like this one, I can break it apart, then you can just select the same one thing, like the fill, you can just select, or undoing it, or you can just select the side, the stroke, or you can select a portion in break apart option. Okay, I don't want it to break apart, so I'm converting it into an object. Now there something else, that is sub selection tool, that is A. A is also stand for the anchor point. Now you can just pull some anchor with it. Okay, you can drag it and you can select the anchor. You can select 2 anchors at a time. If you are using this sub-selection tool, you can do anything with these anchors. Then after these 2 selection tools, there is transformation tools, which also have a gradient transform tool. Now this free transform tool is Q, and you can just transform it. You can skew this shape. This is for skewing, this is skewing, and you can rotate, you can resize, and if you click shift, then that will be resized uniformly. Okay, there are some other options in the transformation from here. can get rotation and skew, scale, distort and envelope. Distort and envelope are something you will get some nodes, and if you click, that will also distort more than you can see. Okay, now after that you have gradient option. Now if you have a gradient fill, you will get gradient fill from the fill option. This is a gradient fill. Okay, now in a fill, okay, I'm just hiding the strokes. Yeah, in a gradient fill, if you select a gradient, then this gradient tool will help you to see these things. You can do change your gradient options. You can just add something, and in from this color option you can just change any color of that gradient. See, so like this. And you can even transfer change this alpha. Alpha is the alpha is the transparency of the thing you're using. This is also very important thing, this gradient thing. Okay, now let's get to a transform tool again. We don't need this one. We are selecting a blue with 100% transparency or alpha, and then make a new object. Okay, okay, the clip is on so that we cannot see the tip. Now I'm just turning it off. Now see, now I'm clicking V and then selecting it and dragging it to the center roughly. Now we have this 3D tool. If you have a 3D tool there, you can do a few things with this 3D tool. These are some few things which you always need, but I won't be showing this in details because 3D tools are to be discussed later. But you can just say that with an object you can change something in 3D. You can just define something in 3D, like you can flip a book, animating a flipping book, or you can make a person flip in a 3D way. But that's very difficult one. There are many software, there are many other softwares for that, and for the 2D traditional 2D animation, this is a good one. Okay, now this is Lasso Tool. Lasso Tool helps you to select something in a random way you want. I'm just deleting it and making a new. Okay, Lasso Tool is for this one. If you have a break apart option, Lasso Tool is very important because you can just cut something from there and you can transfer it here. Okay, now Lasso Tool have a few more things, like this is a Polygon tool. You can just select with straight lines, and the same thing you can do. And then we have this magic wand. This magic wand is very important because if you have some picture, if you have some vector images or something you have made, a very complex one that is that may contain thousands of colors, then you can just select this tool and just click on that image. I cannot show you because that's a very lengthy process, but yeah, you can just click it and you will select the entire color section, even as a gradient. That's very cool tool. That's very cool one. But just let's not discuss it now because that's not something we are dealing with recently. Currently we are using this brush tools. Now brush tool have few types of fluid brush tool. First let's start with this classic brush tool. you can just draw something. If you have a pen tab, then you can define its thickness or transparency or anything with it, as I am doing. Then you will have that fluid brush tool, that is, you know, for more coloring and things. It is for coloring something. We have this paint brush tool, and you can just paint something that will paint strokes. Now the classic brush tool paints with the fill color, but this will paint with the stroke color, and that is a stroke. You can just select it as a stroke. So you can select it as a stroke, and you can select this one as a fill. See? Okay. Then you have pencil tool. Pencil tool is always important. It's for anything. You can just draw a line, and then you can define its width, height from the properties panel, anything. It's looking cute, right? But okay, then you have eraser tool. Eraser tool is for rubbing things, for rubbing small or big or very minor mistakes or very big mistakes. Now for big mistakes you have selection tool, but for small detailings, or if you want to draw in black like this, I'm doing it now, then you need then you need this one. Now there is shape tools. Rectangle tool. First let me delete these things. I'm clicking V, selecting all, and then just delete. Now first it comes to rectangle. Now this is a ordinary rectangle. After that we have rectangle primitive tool. This is Shift R. Okay, but sorry, I forgot to tell you these shortcuts. Okay, let's start from the start. Transformation tool is Q and gradient F. 3D is G and Shift W. You can see. Lasso is L. Polygon tool is Shift L, and magic wand don't have one. Fluid brush tool is Shift B. Pencil tool is Shift Y. Classic brush tool is B, and paint brush tool is Y. I know I'm going little faster, but don't worry, I'll provide you some PDF for shortcuts. Okay, now eraser tool is for E, and rectangle is R. Rectangle primitive tool is Shift R. Oval for O. You can draw circles using oval tool, and oval primitive tool for Shift O, and polygon stars. Now let's see what primitive tool is different. If you select this one, this node, you can just smoothen its sides. You can even do that from this option, from here. You can do this, but we don't need to do it from here. But this is possible from here. Okay, if you want to show me, I can show. We don't need to do that now, at least, because that's already 18 minutes. Now we have oval tool. Now oval tool is basically you can draw circles, and clicking Shift you can draw perfect circles, and using the oval primitive tool you will have this one, and clicking V as selecting tools. Sorry, here you can see a node. See this, you can just do this thing, and this one is for its height. See, you can do these things using this primitive tool. And then you have seen the polygon one. Polygon is if you give a single click, if you give a good click, then here is polygon. There is stars. You can set the number of sides and the point size, and that will give you a star, a good star. If you have 0, then it will give a blunt side. If you have give you like this, and if you select start, then it will give you like this. The pointness is the, you can understand this. Okay. These are tutorial classes, so these are a bit lengthy, but when I'll be doing some workflows or showing how to do something, then you will really enjoy it. But first you need to learn this. Okay, then there's lines. Now line is something simple. It uses strokes and you can draw something. Now using the V tool, that selection tool, you can don't select one and just go near that line. You will see a curve in your pointer. You can use that curve to do these things. It can be used as well as in fills. Okay, now where you get this corner type indication, you can just move the corner, and for the curve you can just curve it as you want. You can even join one. Now for joining you need to a break apart thing, but this is object, so you can't do that here. But if I select this and then if I turn it to break apart, and then again if I select it and see this is joined. Okay, see this looks like this is revolving. Wow. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is very beautiful. Okay, now let's do work with this pen tool. Now pen tool is something very important. You can just click and drag. Now this you really need to work yourself, because I cannot teach you how to use a pen tool. Just I can say that if you get this circle indication, then you can join this line. Okay, then you got these add anchor point. You can add anchor point to any line or any pen tool object. So you can click it you can hold it, or you can just grab it with the anchor. Then there is anchor deletion point, that you can delete some points. See how I'm doing. Now there is anchor tool, convert anchor point tool. Here you can just click one and you can just do these things. Okay, you can just curve a point only. Okay, then you have text. Now text tool is very simple. You can just type something and you can change these texts from this properties panel. Oh sorry, there are 5 types of properties. Text properties are also one of them. Sorry, I missed it. Now you can also embed it, but embedding is, if you embed a font, then it will be okay. You don't need to know this now, okay, because if I tell you so much in one class, then you will be confused. Okay, next. I don't need these things, so select and delete. Okay, now there are fills. Now if you have a line tool and say this is a break apart one, so that they are a single object, you can use this fill tool, that is shortcut is K. You can just fill it with any color you want. See, so the shortcut of text tool is T, and anchor is, you can see that, P hyphen minus and hyphen and shift C. Well, then it comes to another paint bucket option, that is ink bottle. Now ink bottle is for coloring this one. See, I can color this pen tab, so that's a bit uneasy because this is not for what we use pen tab. We use pen tab for smooth drawings. And this is the ink picker, or what you called eyedropper tool. That is, the shortcut is I for both Mac and Windows, and you can just select a color and then click so that that color comes to your palette. You can even select from an image. Okay, then you have this asset wrap tool for W. You can just wrap something, pin it somewhere, and then you can select this one and just, like, asset wrap is not that important, but you can just do these things. See, you can do these things. Just hold it and you can distort something, but using some anchor points. You can make some animations using it. It's very useful tool. It's very interesting tool, but we don't need it now. Hand tools are very important, but the rotation Shift H and the time scrub tool Alt Shift H is not that important. Alt Shift H for this one. See, Alt plus Shift plus H. Sorry, Alt Shift H. But you don't need it. Okay, you can just do this. We don't need it. And here you can use that H or the spacebar option, and the rotation is for Shift H, that you can rotate. I've showed it right here. Let's make it center. Okay, now this is the zoom tool. You can just zoom in and zoom out something. Now we don't need those things now. Let's make it 100%. Okay, then it's width tool. Now this width tool is very interesting one. If we have a line, a very simple and decent line of like this, now this width tool will do is, if I add something here, then it can make it like this. See, we can just set an anchor and then we can just draw it. It's very easy one. Okay, right? Okay, then after these you have bone tool, but bone tool is a bit difficult one. This is only for lines, but not for this one. If in future, not if, I will show you character animation, I will show you the use of bone tool and camera. So camera is not to be used now because it's not that important till now, but I will show you. Yes, it's very important too. Now these are black and white palettes, these are color fill color option palette, and these are stroke color palette, and these are to use the swap, the fill and stroke color. This is X. You can just do it by using X. Just click X and it will happen. Okay, so I have shown you the use of every tools. Now let's work with layers. Now we know layer effect is something that helps us to to add depth to something, that this is deeper and this is not that deep. We can do that using this layer thing, right? So the one in the upper side will help you to give depth. Now if you don't have these things, wait, yeah, so layer depth, I have explained it to you already, so there's nothing special about these, but there's something more important, that if you want to undo and redo something, we make mistakes in every step. So we can undo by clicking Ctrl Z, or from edit we can do that. Undo, select none. And we can also repeat, that is Ctrl Y. See, I'm undoing it. I'm undoing it. And I'm redoing it. Ctrl Y. See. And it can take up to 100 clicks, I think. I'm not so sure. Okay, now let's discuss about scenes. Scenes are something this is the scene. Now we have seen that in a movie suddenly you see two cameras. First one is maybe focusing on a detective's face, and then the second one focuses on the criminal, and everyone is talking. Now when the detective speaks, the camera turns, or you see it don't turn, you see the face of the detective, and when the criminal or the thief speaks, then the camera shows that thief. Now this happens using the scene thing. In animation 2, this scene is applied. You can make one document with several scenes, and you can just show animation scene by scene, and when you preview it, then you will see that the scenes are being showed to you one by one. Well, okay, scenes I've explained, and this is good. Now let's make something silly. Well, I'm using my brush tool. Now this is a ball, right? No, not a ball. This is not a ball. This is the ugly one. Now if I activate this onion screening, and then if I tap F7, then this will disappear, and I will get to draw another one. Now it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And when it reaches to the earth, sorry, not earth, it's just reaching toward ground. Now this is something called we make it funnier. See. Now I'm just trying it roughly, because this is not a workflow video and that will be a much longer one. But now see what I have done. Now see. Now this is like a soft rock. It is not a rock, it is something like ping pong ball. It's just coming here and it's jumped. It's coming from sky, hitting the ground. It's distorting and then coming back to the shape, and then it's getting away. Now this is a simple animation one. Now you can use this technique for many things, like if I have if I delete this scenes, if I right click it, wait, sorry, actually, okay, if I right click it and remove frames. Now if I put F6, we can draw anything, right? We can draw anything. Now if we draw something, say a square, then F7, it's turning like this. Now see, see this. Now it's transforming a shape, and then again it's now see this. Okay, so it's again turning into a square. So we can make these things like this. Now if I make it slower, or if I just drag these and make a frame interval of 2 frames or 1 frame, then you will see it much slower, right? Or I can show it like that with my hand. Now see this. Okay, so onion screening helps like this, and frame by frame animation is used for these things. Now I have explained to you the properties panel, the layer one, and the tools, and even the scenes. So I think that's it for today. So okay guys, now these are enough for today, I think. So meet you in the next class, and if you liked this video, then please hit the like button and the subscribe button and the bell icon, and please share it.